What's going on, guys? Vulkan here, and today we have early access to Outriders. So here we are in the kind of last camp. I've completed the campaign, all that fun stuff. So we have a ton of mods unlocked, and we're gonna go through the crafting interface. Now that we can actually access it and see everything that we can do in terms of crafting, I'm gonna walk you guys through it. So if you want to craft, you're going to talk to this individual named Dr. Zahidi. So you're going to unlock him a little bit into the campaign. He's not going to be immediately available, but once you talk to him, you can upgrade your gear. Now in here, the crafting window, we've seen this before in broadcasts and previous Outriders, kind of official content, but going through it yourself is a little bit different. So on my equipped gear, you can see I have a legendary piece of gear, I have some epic gear, and I have a piece of blue gear. So starting off with the legendary piece of gear, remember these are static. If you click on this, it'll throw it into your crafting window. Now from here, you have a few options. Improve rarity. As you can see, it's grayed out because we cannot go higher than legendary. That is the highest level of rarity. Then we have our raise attributes, our mod gear, swap variant. This is not possible on armor, but it is possible on weapons. And then we have level up. So let's go ahead and let's jump into raise attributes. So back in the demo, we were going through and we were collecting shards, and these shards were from breaking down pieces of gear, and these shards are able to increase certain attributes on your pieces of gear. So here we can see we have Mask of the Cannonball, we have max health, close range, and status power, and you can see those over here. If you hover over these, it'll show how much they'll increase by donating shards. If you go to the bottom right-hand corner, you can see how many shards you have in each category. So max health, we have 1,623 shards, anomaly power, 1795, close range damage, we have 527, and status power, we have only 292. So we need to get some more status power shards here if we want to go for a status power build. So here, I would definitely want some more health. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, it's easy as clicking, and it's going to be adding shards to this piece of gear and increasing that max health. Now you can see max health now has a shard next to it. If I do the same thing with close range damage, now that has a shard next to it. The reason being is when I break down this piece of gear, you will get a small refund of shards back for whatever you put onto it. So they're not completely wasted. Now you can go out here and upgrade these as much as you would like. It really is all about what kind of build you want and what you're really going for. So the next thing is mod gear. Now this is what we've seen, right? This is like the bread and butter when it comes to crafting in Outriders. You have all of these different mods you can go out and equip. So your tier 1 mods are your class mods. These are going to be specific to your particular class. As you can see, I'm on a Technomancer, so I have all my Technomancer mods. Now tier 2 is where things get a little bit more generic. So any class can equip these mods. You have things like hidden med kit, or if you pick up ammo, it restores health to you. Vampire mag, killing shots on enemies afflicted with bleed will replenish half your ammo, which is pretty cool. So you can go through here and you can click on left click on your mouse will place it in slot 1, which is right here where purity is. Right click will place it in slot 2. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you put a new mod on this piece of gear, it will lock the other mod. So for instance, if I were to right click and place this in slot 2, it would keep this slot open and I can change it whenever I would like. However, purity would be locked and I cannot change purity. So that's something to keep in mind. And then tier 3, these are the kind of big dog top end mods. These are the ones we're kind of after, right? This is where end game is truly going to really kind of unlock and min-max builds are going to live. So in here you can see it's a mixture of class mods, we can see down here, and more generic mods up here. So pretty cool stuff here. I really like the mods and it's super easy to use. So let's go ahead and let's back out. And one thing to talk about too, I'll go ahead and throw one back on here. You can see that the mod slot has a resource cost. So leather to swap out that mod. We also have scrap. I haven't seen this in crafting. This is just a currency to buy things from the shop. You have iron, titanium, that's an in-game thing, and then shards. I'm not gonna hover over that, just in case. I don't wanna spoil anything for anybody. Okay, so next thing we have is level up. So leveling up is going to take titanium. Now you can see it's 56 pieces of titanium to level this item up to a maximum level of 34. So you can see my armor raises right there, but it also scrambles my max health, close range damage, and status power attributes. So those are going to either go up, down, it's going to re-roll them, and that kind of keeps a little bit of RNG in there. So that's something to keep in mind. If you do level this up and you've gone through and kind of fine-tuned your attributes, just know that they could change. Okay, so that is a piece of legendary armor. Taking a look at a piece of epic armor is about the same. Really, there isn't any difference. You're going to be able to mod your gear, raise your attributes, level it up, but you can't swap variant or improve rarity because you can't improve rarity above epic. So that is something that you guys need to understand, that if you have a green or a blue, it can go up to epic, but epic cannot go to legendary. Now, if you look at the blue piece of gear, we have our improved rarity opened up. So if we look over here, it's going to take us to a epic piece of gear. It's going to raise up our base stat, our armor stat, and it's going to add an additional tier 2 mod. We're going to be able to choose from one of 3 options. However, this takes 65 pieces of titanium, which takes a while to kind of grind out. So make sure you really like this piece of gear if you want to pursue this option, because if not, then you're going to have a difficult time. Plus, there are other restrictions like what's the max level you can upgrade this to. You don't want to bring this up to an epic and then suddenly you have a cap that you have to worry about. So that's armor and crafting. Let's go ahead and let's flip over to weapons. So starting with my light machine gun I have here, the Space Revenant, right? Okay, so this one I've upgraded multiple times. I really like what I have going on here. This is perfect for my build. I have 2 tier 2 mods, Storm Whip and Death Chains, which by the way, Storm Whip, amazing. Those of you who have Thunderbird know, but Death Chains, guys. Death Chains is such a cool mod. I really like it. Internal cooldown 2 seconds. Anyway, I'm doing a Technomancer starter build coming out in a new video, but we're going to talk about this a lot. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's get to the crafting portion. So we can't improve rarity, obviously. We can raise our attributes here for some life leech, healing received, and long range damage, which works out really well for my build. And then we can go over to our mods. So this is what I was talking about earlier. You can only alter one of your mods after you've swapped them. I put Storm Whip on this weapon, so Death Chains is locked. I cannot edit this second mod slot. Now, if you break down this piece of gear, so you can see I don't have Death Chains unlocked because I don't have this little 4 square here, I will still unlock the mod, but I just can't edit it on my actual weapon. So going down into swap variant. Now, this is one that a lot of people have been kind of asking questions about. Variants on weapons change how your weapon performs. So standard is your standard version of this weapon. It's a fully automatic light machine gun. There is nothing different about it. If you go to stabilizing, you can see the green and the red, right? Our damage goes down, reload goes up, clip size goes down, RPM goes up, and our crit multiplier goes up, as well as our accuracy is almost at 100%, and we lose a little bit of stability. If I go to suppressing, I lose everything across the board, but my clip size goes up to 150. So for now, I really like standard where we're at. These are things that you can kind of tinker with to figure out what variant works best for you. And those are different per weapon too. If I go over to my shotgun, for instance, and I go to swap variant, you have narrow and slug. So you can see slug raises the clip size and the RPM and the stability, but it lowers everything else. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, let's go ahead and let's flip back over to our light machine gun. We already covered raise attributes, all of those fun things. Level up. I'm at my current wearable max level. So I've raised this weapon from a 25 to a 34 because it's just perfect for my build. But right now, I can't raise it any higher. That's it. Like, I have capped this thing out. So I need to go find a new weapon and I can continue working on it. So anyway, guys, that's crafting in a nutshell. I know a lot of people have been asking questions about it. I think this is kind of that secret sauce. We talked about this in our podcast with Kodiak, the Legacy Gaming guys, Abby Hour, and Ginger Prime. But this is kind of that secret sauce for this game in order to make it really kind of fun and unique. This is something that is very interactive, your entire leveling experience. So this isn't just reserved for end game. It's not something that, oh, I'm gonna wait. You need to be actively involved in crafting in order to get the most bang for your buck and make the story mode as well as end game as easy and smooth as possible so you can grind out those world tiers. Now I'll have another video kind of talking about that. but I wanted to show you guys crafting because I know a lot of people were asking questions. So that's all we have for this, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I'm so excited that you're able to get into Outriders very, very, very soon. Let's get talking in the comment section below. What do you guys think so far? And as always, thank you very much for the support. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you guys next time.